So talking with Brad Raw about SMSFs, lots of people we chat to say, yep, I want to have one. I might have some existing investments I want to put in, or I want to buy something within the fund. Brad, just what are some of the investment restrictions with SMSFs? Specifically, to start with, what can't you buy in a fund, or not recommended to buy in a fund?
First thing, of course, is you can't buy investments off yourself, so such as residential property. Look, there are a few exceptions if they are listed shares or business real property, which we're talking like commercial property that's used in a business. You can't buy, look, there was probably 10 years ago we could buy artwork and collectibles. Not worth the paperwork and the hassle now. If you're looking to buy precious metals or diamonds, make sure that you use a reputable dealer and also a storage place. Don't try to, we've got clients that go, look, I can store it at home. You then still got to insure that asset. It's a lot easier just dealing with like a, Perth Mint, ABC Bullion, gold buyers kind of thing, where you can actually they'll store it for you and they'll have an insurance cover as well, which does help it being insured in the correct name from that side of things, rather than trying to do it yourself. You won't get many insurance providers doing it from that side of things.
So you touched on art, but also collectibles, even collectible cars. You can, but
it creates a lot of complications. You can't be driving it. So the big thing from a super fund perspective, it's for your retirement. So you can't really enjoy the benefit now. And of course, with a collectible car, you probably want to drive it on the weekend. You can't have that in a super fund. They do allow from time to time someone else to drive the car to make sure that it actually can run. But yeah, it's just very complicated to look at those, and you're better just to hold them in your own name, especially if you're going to be looking for capital gains. There are protections or regulations where you don't have to pay capital gains tax on those collectibles. But yeah, just keep it simple in super from the main side of things. Your standard, we still get clients that do Bitcoin, but again, it's just make sure that you're not it's for your retirement. You're not trying to just have a punt at the market and hope you can double your money from that side of things.
And one last one we get from time to time an insight, and that's what the regulator actually does allow, but we don't recommend. But can I buy a business in my super fund? What's your stance on that?
It depends on if you're trying to buy a business, you're better to buy the commercial premises in the super fund where the trading business is going to be paying rent. So essentially, it's another way of getting funds into like your contributions, because as we know, small businesses are probably struggling to pay the directors super because they're the owners. They don't have the additional cash flow. But if they're actually paying rent, that's their forced, I suppose, contributions towards their super. So that's probably the better opportunity to basically have the super fund buy the commercial premises rather than trying to buy an investment in a business. I've seen one or two done. It's just not worth the hassle. And then if you get benefits or profits in the current term, you're getting a current benefit as well. So
So that's the land and commercial premises you refer to. The actual business itself, I mean, essentially, is the regulators see that as a potential breach of SIS in terms of
because you're getting you're getting a current day benefit. If you're just buying a passive investor in an unrelated business, say it's not a family member, it's just someone that's approached you and say, hey, would you like to buy 10% of this business that I run? I've seen some clients do it. It does create a lot of paperwork, and you're dealing with other accountants to get that through, but it is possible. But if it's your own business, you're better to look at that commercial.
Yeah, there's some particular rules there. Obviously, it's worth chatting to your advisor first or us before you do that, so makes sense.